Joe, good morning. How we doing, chat? Happy Monday. I don't know if y'all noticed, I had the stream scheduled for 8:45. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. So I'm officially not late with a valid excuse. Well, I'm officially late, but with a valid excuse. And I wasn't even that late. I've been later just talking to Garrett in there. Good job, Matt. Hope you had a good weekend. Very strange weekend here. It was incredibly, it was like 94 degrees yesterday, Fahrenheit. And then this morning, it was 36 with it feels like 29 or 24. It feels like 24 because of the wind. We had like 40-mile-an-hour wind all night last night. It's crazy. Very weird weather. Anyways. I rolled over my charts. That's why there's no volume on the DOM. I have to restart Sierra chart for that, and I'm not doing that right now, so. All good. Still got point of control over here, and the histogram's on right. Is the MNQ and NQ identical, or do they differ slightly? They differ slightly because they're two separately traded things, so they're going to have different volume. They both follow the same underlying, right? So the pricing is going to be very similar, but the volume is literally different because they're two separate things. So there will be times in extreme volatility where a high on the MNQ will be different than a high on the NQ or low, for instance, because of X amount of volume coming through. Some classic Texas weather, right? Literally. I did not watch the Chinese Grand Prix. I didn't wake up early enough for it, and honestly, yesterday I was in a mood because I was really tired, and I didn't feel like watching the replay. I saw Ferrari did pretty good. Mercedes won, and yeah, but I hit all my training this weekend. An hour and a half, like a 30-mile bike ride on Saturday, and then I did a 6-mile run yesterday. It's actually been fun. My heart rate on the 6-mile run was like a 134 or something. Average heart rate was like a 134 at a 9:30 pace. It's been very fun to see how fast my heart rate drops on my running purely from biking more. Like the bike is significantly, it drops my heart rate significantly faster than running has ever done. Or I'm just actually doing it way better than I did for the marathon and creating a base, if you will, but probably more from swimming. Oh, really? I just don't even feel like I'm swimming enough to drop my heart rate, to be honest. But I guess that's a thing. I don't know. I'm so gassed on swimming that it doesn't even feel like I'm really getting like a workout in per se. But it makes sense because I am extremely gassed. Either way, it's fun to see. Man, I've dropped 10 beats per minute, maybe a little over on a 9:30 pace in a couple weeks. That's crazy. Man. You underestimate how good swimming workouts are for the rest? Yeah, so arguably, like, swimmers are in some of the best shape of any athletes then. From like a body perspective, I guess, because it's a full body workout. And I guess it's extreme conditioning. It makes sense why old people do it, I guess. It's kind of crazy. But I was happy to hit both workouts. Today's an off day, which is nice. Got some blood work done this morning. Make sure I'm taking the vitamins I need and all of that with all the increased training. All right. This week, let's look at news real quick. We've got housing market index at 9 o'clock. That's it. Maybe a Trump news conference at 11, maybe, tentative. And then before we get too far, oh, we gotta talk about my golf round on Friday also, chat. Let's play some kind of hard golf real quick. Par 17, huh? That was very close. I wonder if I can hit the little rounded part and shoot me off. Oh, so close. Okay. What are we doing here? How did I do it the first time? Not great. Top 66, but we take it. All right, chat. Golf on Friday. Shot 92. So all of you that were saying, one dude said I was gonna shoot a 131 or something. In your face. Shot 92. I have a very funny story about it, chat. I want to go ahead and clarify that if you suffer from this, I hope you can laugh about what I'm about to say. And if you can't, I apologize in advance. It was a very funny situation, and it was a massive power play. How many mulligans? I took my first breakfast ball on the 17th green. So one mulligan. I was driving my irons. I was talking to Skid Steer about this. My irons were going 20 to 30 yards farther than I've ever hit them before. I was making very good contact, and it was honestly incredibly confusing because the numbers that I'm used to going for were just way off. So I was having to like club down by 1 or 2, which was nuts. My driving was honestly pretty decent. Chipping was some of the best chipping I've ever had. Same with bunker shots. My putting was atrocious for the first 13 holes. I was just strong arming everything. I had no like feel in my hands and was just putting terrible. I left so many strokes. Front 9, I left easy 5 strokes on the table. I should have broken 90, truly, but that's okay. I'm playing golf on Wednesday. Maybe I'm gonna break 90. Okay, so the story, chat. We had a foursome. 2 of my friends dropped out. And then morning of, 2 of my friends dropped out. Then same morning, we get picked up with a rando, okay, named Tracy. So in my mind, me and my buddy are going to be playing with a, you know, like probably a 70-year-old lady, 65-year-old lady, whatever, named Tracy. Okay. Turns out, Tracy's a dude, okay? Tough name, but you deal with the cards you're dealt, right? So Tracy, he should have gone by Trace or something, maybe. I don't know, but Tracy is a dude. He's 63. He just retired in October from corporate America. I'm on the first tee box. I'm getting ready to go. And from me to the wall away, a guy walks up. I was like, oh, this is Tracy. And he walks up to me, and he's holding his putter in his left hand. And I notice that he does not have a right hand. He has no hand. It stops at the wrist, okay? With his right hand. He walks up to me. He's like, oh, are you playing at 10:30 or whatever? I was like, yeah. He's like, my name's Tracy. Walks right up to me and full extends his nub out for me to shake it. It wasn't a knuck situation. It was looked me right in the eye and wanted me to shake his nub. And I shook it. Yeah, I shook the nub. It was a very, in the moment, it caught me off guard. I don't know why. I think I was expecting to I was ready to shake with the left hand. But then I had the best drive I've ever had off the first tee box after shaking the nub. So then it became a little bit of a joke that maybe the nub is a little lucky. And then there was a lot of jokes about maybe I had a bad shot, you know, and it's maybe I need to go rub the nub a little bit and get some luck back, you know. He ended up shaking our hand 2 more times with the nub. We asked him on 18 what happened, and he said that he was just born without one. Also, chat, the dude was one of the best golfers I've ever played with in my entire life. As a one-handed golfer, dude is happily married. One of the best golfers I've ever played with. His putting was not on, and he was really complaining about it. I kid you not when I say this. This is not an exaggeration. He did not miss a single fairway or a single green in regulation. He was a stick at golf. And I'm not saying that as part of the joke. It's true. He literally did not hit out of the rough once. He hit out of the middle of the fairway every single time and was on the green in regulation every single time. It was crazy. So, an amazing golfer. Turns out his parents, when he was born, his parents were both golfers, and he was like, I didn't have a chance. I didn't have a chance or a choice. My parents put a golf club in my hand when I could stand up or whatever. And yeah, dude, a little rub nub, a little nub rub, I guess is the better way to say that. Provides a little bit of luck in your life. So it presented the opportunity. He was dealt the short hand, but he made it work. Yeah. I cried from laughing with my buddy in the golf cart with the jokes that were being made about the lucky nub. I was so, you know how they always say like, don't think about your swing thoughts on the tee box? I was so shook by the handshake, what had happened. The power play that was dominated over me, for instance. I had zero swing thoughts and I hit the best drive of my life, literally. I had a draw, Chad, I had a draw. I've never hit a draw in my life on purpose. I still wasn't on purpose, but I've never hit a draw hardly ever. I always like hook it or slice it. Or I mean, you know, fade it, slice it, whatever. I had like a little baby draw, dead center of the fairway. I outdrew my buddy who drives it 280 to 300 every time. It was crazy. No swing thoughts, just thinking about the nub. And then I was thinking about like, I mean, he was in corporate America, high-tech sales is what he had described himself as. And I was thinking about the amount of people that he has forced to shake that nub, and it was funny. So anyways, that was my golf round on Friday. Played really good golf, but honestly, I owe it all to the nub. So. Love it. Hopefully see him around out there. Yeah, no, the pro shop guy was like, oh, Tracy's a great guy. He plays out here all the time. We asked him, he plays 4 days a week. Because he retired in October. He's been playing 4 days a week since. I think it was a power play to make you touch the nub instead of shaking hands. Oh, it was absolute. Zero questions about the power play. It was absolutely a power play. I mean, without a doubt. It wasn't like a convenience thing of like, yeah, there was no convenience involved. It was literally just it was a power play. Anyways, quite the round of golf. It's hilarious. Only made it better that I was playing good, to be honest. So Friday we break, or Wednesday I'm breaking 90. And then I'm done playing golf until my golf trip. I had a high school teacher who lost his hand in battle, and so he had a hook. That's kind of cool. He power played everybody, and you had to latch your fingers onto his hook and go with it. Nice. Yeah, the very first time I was so... I literally grabbed the nub the first time to shake it. The second time, I went for like the Roman Emperor, like... Or Roman Empire, like kind of forearm, like strength and honor handshake, you know? There was a little bit more of that. It's still unintentional. You just don't really know where to go in the moment. You can pre-plan that out and you still don't know where to go. But the strength and honor handshake felt a little better. A nub pump, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, like, I was talking to my wife and the buddy who I played with his wife, and they were like, well, are you sure he wasn't going for like a fist bump? And I was like, it was very much not a fist bump. But it would have been funny to fist bump that potentially. Or to do one of the ones that you do with like, with kids, you know, where it's like you go for the fist bump and you like park it, or do the squirrel running up the arm, or the snail. One of those options would have been pretty funny, to be honest. I didn't do that in the moment. I was too shook. Fist bump trajectory is different from a shaky. No, I completely agree. And it was very much not a fist bump. It was like a fist bump. You kind of lean into it and you kind of got your arm bent a little bit and you're like, hey, you know, this was like power stance, full standing up walking into that arm shake. Not a handshake, the arm shake. No. How was the range before the round? You think it helped with driving? The range was atrocious, so maybe. It was one of those range sessions. I got like 15 minutes beforehand, and I was like, I got like 15 minutes of range time, and it was one of those deals where you're just like, okay, it's gonna be like this, and I'm okay with that. I'm just happy to be out here playing golf, I guess. But it's gonna be one of those days, and then it turned out to be the exact opposite. So I guess I got the bad shots out early. I don't know. I was topping everything. It just was not good, but it worked out in the moment, so whatever. I'm not gonna ask questions. The Nubster could be a cool name on stream. It's still so funny to me. It's gonna be one of those situations where I don't think I'm gonna be over that day of golf for a year. It was iconic. It was one of those like once in a lifetime experiences. Trade it live, Merrick. Alrighty. Trying to get new highs here. We're 8 points away. A little bit of a mellow open so far. We're up 1.35%. We're above the overnight highs. We're above yesterday's value area high. So we're kind of in just like, I would say historically we're in just like uppies moves, right? But that being said, we're still in the daily range here. So, you know, maybe we push into the 25K seems very, very likely, but that's Friday's high as well. So I would think we flush that and could just have a nice, big, solid green day. Just back up into the top of the range, but we'll see. Popped the high by a point. A little bit more there. Into the 1.5 standard deviation. We rejected it last time. Maybe we come back off it again. I don't know. We'll see. Pretty slow movement right now. Got news at 9, but it's not that aggressive. Is the AI trading bot really working? Did you watch the video? It lost all of its money. It got wrecked. We're going to make a part 2, though. I still got to figure out what I want to make part 2 as. Do I have the bot analyze performance for part 1, make changes, etc.? Or do I implement a new strategy and like something I would maybe actually use and then try and do it? I don't know. I'm between both. I think both are actually very interesting. All right, rejecting that 1.5, coming down into the 1 and the overnight highs. Point of control at 900. I think 05 is pretty interesting, to be honest. Something like this. We did have news come out 30 seconds ago. Tested the prior open at 11. Don't really have too much size in the books. Just gonna push back up into the highs, I guess. I definitely want to be long. That prior open was probably a decent test. Maybe I should have taken that. I just felt like we probably floated it at 905 if I get it at 915. I don't want to have a 10-point stop at 905. Okay. We're just running away here. Look for something else. I like that setup, but I like the longs, so a pullback like that, something similar is what I'm looking for. I just wanted a little bit more out of it, out of the pullback, but pullback like that's something that I'm interested in. Actually, you know what I think I can do, chat? 1 second. No, it didn't work. I thought I could reload and put get the volume over here, but it didn't work. Yeah, I rolled. I'm on M's in QM. Matt, I can't roll over well charts yet, so my chart's roughly 200 points lower than yours. It's fine. Really not the end of the world right now. If I had to guess, it probably rolls over after the close today. A lot of like charts that use the auto rollover, Project X, wall charts, etc. They normally roll over at the close of the day where the most volume happens. Mondays usually fairly split. Fridays can be split. Mondays are usually pretty split, if not teetering towards the new one halfway through the day or something. And then Tuesday, it's usually more volume. I just went ahead and rolled over. It's not the end of the world, chat. All right, do we crack the prior low? If we crack the prior low, I feel like, I don't know if 905 is still that good if we crack the prior low. I feel like 900 might make more sense at point of control. If we crack 11. Not a lot of movement though, that's for sure. Compared to what we have been having, you know? For what it's worth, chat, I personally like, especially for newer traders, the platforms that do auto roll like Well Charts or Project X or whatever. I think it makes more sense for newer traders. It just takes out a little bit of the thought process and the guessing game behind rollover. I think a lot of people overthink it, or they just straight up forget about it, and that's a problem. Forgetting about it's a way bigger problem than overthinking the specific day of rollover. Well, we didn't even sweep the bottom. My point in saying that is if you haven't rolled over yet, don't worry about it. It's all good. If you want to roll over and you have rolled over, I think it's fine too. I did. End of the week. Whenever volume really starts to be one-sided, TAM. When volume is split, delta's not that good usually. I'm never rolling over. Yeah. I'm gonna fight. I'm never rolling over. I'm never gonna be weak and roll over. I'm gonna fight. You have an updated playlist on which videos you think I should watch to learn your strategies? The new to trading playlist I think is pretty good. TBM theories too. Both of those playlists are pretty updated and good, in my opinion. They're gonna get worked on also. I'm gonna do a lot of TBM theory videos, but I'm kind of waiting on Tradester to launch for that. I don't want to make them all on Sierra. I try and then make them again on Tradester. Does it press OK on Sierra and it rolls over? Yeah, that's what I did this morning. I was like, the charts need to roll over. And I said, okay. Done. All right, new highs, chat. There we go. New highs. It's like a little, like, 40, almost 50 point push up. It's not bad. Feels mellow. I was trying to buy a dip. Just didn't quite get dippy. I mean, we got dippy into whatever this was for the double bottom, but didn't get super dippy, which is what I was looking for. Feels like lunchtime already. It does actually. Yeah, it's kind of mellow. All right, Chad, yeah, make sure you press the thumbs up button down below. Helps out. Click it. Don't forget, friendly reminder. The charts are super mellow and you feel like you're trying to force something. Don't do it. Let the moves happen to you or stay out of it. I want to get long. I've been wanting to get long. We are going up, but I want to get long where it makes sense. I want a nice pullback in order for me to get long. I'm not going to force something. Not a lot of bailout opportunities right now with how we're moving. Seeing as it's just like a little mellow, slow kind of push to the upside. Not a lot of bailout opportunities. Me personally, definitely don't want to be fading this yet at all. We're up basically 1.5% up on the day. I like the longs. We're grinding upwards. I just want to get long on a pullback. Just past an eval. GG's, honey. Be sweet. Matt, I'm suffering BA. BA. I'll keep the videos coming. I'm not sure what BA means. My brain is trying to figure out a word that goes with like bowel. Oh, business analyst. I thought it was like a bodily issue. I feel that on the business analyst side. Been there. Bowel attack. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it. Man, I'm suffering from explosive diarrhea. Videos are really helping. Thanks. All right, got a little bit of... Well, Delta's going to be weird today, so I got to take that into account. We hung off the prior open the last time. Prior open mid-20s. Trying to figure out if I like that or not. Would be probably something like this. A little bit of volume here at 25. Stop below the lows. Don't hate it if we can get them all the way down. I just, not really aggressive selling currently. Got a little bit of juice. Oh, it's not even like any juice. They're like, it's like a 10 block, a 20 block. Literally, some of the most size on the books right now is a 20 block. That's tough. I am a Ferrari fan. I'm happy with the season as is. The time zone, I didn't watch Chinese China Grand Prix. But yeah, I'm happy with the season so far. But at the same time, I'm like not. I wish Ferrari was doing good with like, I don't know. I'm just like not really a fan of this. I don't know. I'm conflicted with it. I guess that's a better way to say it. I think it makes the racing a little bit more interesting because there's a lot of overtakes. But the overtakes are happening purely because the car can't do anything else. And that's kind of lame to me. Why is Delta so off its rollover? And like Red Bull sucks, which I think is funny. McLaren kind of sucks, which I think is funny. I'm happy Ferrari's good. Mercedes being good just kind of annoys me. But at the same time, I'm like, I just don't really like the battery function at all. I kind of just like, I want racing to be racing. I want it to be like aggressive cars that they absolutely push to the limit, not the cars limiting themselves. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe a hot take, but that's kind of where my head's at. It is so dumb to me that a car can't gas it through a straight. Losing speed on a straight is not, that's not, yeah, I agree. I can't support that. Also, what's up with the tires lasting so long, chat? No throttle, no tire wear issues. Yeah. Sharpener, it's because TradingView hasn't rolled over yet. I love rollover chat. It's the best. This is a short position? No. The market's going up. I want to get long. I'm just wanting to buy a pullback to get long.
I rolled over my charts. If your chart is 200 points lower, it is because you haven't rolled over yet. No worries. It will probably do it tomorrow.
You heard it from the man himself. That was Fred. All right, we are just pushing. I want to get long. I want to make it make sense to get long. I would like some form of a little bit of a pullback. We get these like big wiki candles and we're just not having any continuation. I just freaking noticed you only have a mustache right now. It's true. The summer stash is back. A little earlier than normal, however. It's here. Can you grow a beard? I've never actually tried to grow a full beard. But yeah, I mean, I grow from here to here. So in theory, if I let it go long enough, yes, is the answer. There's also just like, I mean, it's rollover. There's just like no, not really any depth. It's pretty snoozy. This is like, we're moving up because it wants to move up. It's really like an 80-point move. We obviously had the 5-minute open that gave us a little bit of a flush quickly to make it a 140-point move, but it's really like an 80-point move. This is one of those environments not personally the way I trade. This market is not, this environment is not super friendly for that right now. There's levels of the madness, right? Too much volatility is, I think, can be tricky, and too little without any sort of like movement, I think, is also tricky. This is a little bit on the downside of that, of like, we're just not really doing a whole lot, which I think can be tricky. So just kind of waiting for a pullback of some sorts, or like even a retest of 50 here, which 15 points seems like a big ask, which is a tough spot to be in. Try and go out and grow a beard. I don't want to grow a beard. It gets itchy to me. If my like hair is too long on my face, it really bothers me. That being said, chat, I want to go on Survivor. I want to apply to be on Survivor. And I think I would have to grow a beard on Survivor because I don't think you can, like, I don't think you can bring a razor. So after the month or whatever, I'd probably have a decent looking or a thick-ish beard. The problem is my neck comes in really heavy. So it'd really just probably be a neared more than anything. Couldn't even get to 50. You still watch it? Yeah. I definitely liked old era Survivor more than new era personally, but I still really enjoy the show. Catching up on 49 right now. I'll watch 50 when it's fully done. I don't even know if 50 is fully done or not. But I typically like, I usually try and wait like 2 seasons and then watch one while the new one's happening, and then finish that one while the new one finishes, and then watch that one essentially, and then wait a season and then do the same thing again. You shave the neck always? I just don't know if you can shave the neck on Survivor. That's my point. That's the only shot I'm gonna have having a beard. I'm not interested in a beard. Is this the pullback you're waiting for? Maybe. The problem is that, like, do we not just float into 30? Like, this feels like, okay, if I get long at 50, 49 or whatever, I gotta give it 38. And 38's, we've been very much in the channel. So I think it makes sense to just wait for mid-30s at this point. Maybe not, I don't know. But it's hard to see the channel playing and to not want to just play the extreme of the channel for me. Laser it? That is technically an option, yeah. Chad, I got about this close yesterday to shaving my arms and legs for Iron Man. Kind of want to just get it out the way, but then I got lazy and I didn't do it. I want to do it once and get in the pool once and see what it's like. I feel like it would feel really nice. But I was too lazy. I get out of like swimming and literally all of my arm hairs and leg hairs are standing straight up, and I'm like, this is drag. This is why I suck at swimming. This is the sole reason I can't swim more than 150 meters at a time or 200 meters at a time, is all of this drag from my arm hairs and leg hairs, you know? Obviously that's sarcasm. Eyebrows too. Valid. Okay, this is the mid-30s, chat. And we finally engulf everything. Looking at volume at 29. Or 30, excuse me. Oops. Candle just closed. Got filled long. And we're just gonna dump it, huh? Needs to hold 20s, really. I'm gonna get full stopped out there. Fully stopped out. 20 points. Got point of control coming up. I am gonna fire one back in right at point of control, assuming I get the fill. That was a nice flush. Hindsight, maybe should have waited till after the candle opened up. Pure hindsight there. Wow, we bounced 905. That's the spot I was looking at way over here 30 minutes ago, an hour ago, whatever. I'm gonna go and move that break even. It's gonna stop me out break even, huh? Maybe. Most likely. It's a really nice test of point of control, though. I mean, we flip this green, maybe? Push into 40s? Oh, just a slap, huh? Candle closes in 3 minutes. There's a stop out break even. It looked really good there for a second. I thought we were going to do it. I thought we were going to at least push into 35. But that would have been flipping the candle greens. Maybe that is a little aggressive. I don't know. I kind of still like point of control, honestly. But we got a little block at 80, 75. How many is that? 63. It's more than we've seen all day. Hindsight there. Maybe you take the 20 points and get back to break even on the day. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a tough call. Chat's going to say take the 20 points for sure, but we looked pretty good. And we've been very grindy, so like the little flush in, I think is, I don't know. I'm okay with what I did. Okay, we got volume at 85. IB is set. We got initial balance and VWAP down at 840s, low of the days, basically. Or, I mean, 836.5 is the low day. VWAP is just right below it. We still got that 65 block at 77. I imagine we flushed through that. This ends up being a nice candle, 50 points. We got 30 seconds left on this candle, see how we close out. Oh, it got a lot more exciting the last 10 minutes. That's for sure. Did we sweep that? We didn't sweep that block yet. I wonder if we reject point of control here. Yeah, they took it off, huh? Took the 75 off? Yeah. Rejected 980, huh? To the tick. Magical 80s. 100-point rotation off the highs. This could be an 80 to 20 rotation, potentially. I think that would make sense. Something like this. Back in point of control, basically. I mean, we broke the uptrend. Just gonna dump it off the overnight highs, maybe. I think either way, we're probably call it balance right now. I have a hard time envisioning us snapping either way out of IB, personally. Oh, my payouts got approved on Friday also, chat. So balances are currently at 67,000 across the board. I think I'm gonna start hitting these accounts a little harder. Risk a little more, make a little more ideally. Just kind of go crazy with the buffer potentially. Worst case, I'm on the end of days. Best case, it gets kind of fat. Pulled out 120,000 in a month and a half, basically. The last 3 payouts. After grinding for a while to get a decent buffer made. So I kind of want to hit a little harder. Still floating the idea in my head, but kind of where I'm at. You have $17,000 buffer? Yeah. Per account. Okay, well that's a sweep of the lows that I wanted. I just wanted us to get up into 920. I wish VWAP and the lows weren't right at each other, to be honest. Y'all know how I feel about double bottoms. Maybe we can pull VWAP up a little bit. I don't know. Ugh. All right. It's 15 minutes of fairly aggressive selling. Stir stuff up, elevator down, as they say. $880 here is interesting, so is pointing control. $880, that prior low. If we're gonna actually do it. Value area low at 880 as well. I guess we got the wick at 77. What percent do you risk on the account? Well, at the current stage, my max risk per trade is always 500 max. And I like to, see, my stop loss is always put in at 500. I like to drag it down to where it makes sense, right? To where it's less than that. 500 bucks at 17,000 was whatever that is. I don't know the answer. 3, 4%, something like that. 2, 3, 4, somewhere, I would think. Math is hard. That was obviously more of the account as the account was less, and it's less as the account grows. $2.9. There you go. Do I like this? Is the question. Little front run action. Potentially. But we got to get down there first. Leilu Shamparu 3896. Dude, you just have to do it over and over again. It's like anything you do that's brand new for the first time, you're always a little nervous, and then you do it after a few times. It's like you show up to a corporate happy hour, right? You don't know anybody. You're a little nervous when you get there, right? You go back next week and you know more people, you're less nervous because you have people to talk to. It's the same thing with trading. Or like, I'll use the example of swimming. First time in the pool, you're really nervous. You go back the next week and you're less nervous because now you kind of understand the routine and what everybody does and how to do it, right? Same thing with trading. First time in your XFA, probably gonna be a little nervous. You show up day over day over day and it just naturally goes away. Nice, Fred. I personally just don't think that way, which there's nothing wrong to either option. Alright, little like kind of a doji. I don't want a little more excess on the lows there, but whatever. Trying to push a little bit. Come back into that little range high. Mid 70s. Still think 80 is pretty interesting. Problem is, like, where's the stop at 80? Is it 86? Potentially? Volume at 86? Or you give it to 90? In the case that we push through point of control? Probably the right option. Or are we just going to get legs and push it back into the highs, right? It's rollover, Andrew. I rolled over to M contracts. You're still on H. Rollover happens every quarter on index futures. So we have 4 rollovers per year. This is one of those. Happens in March, happens in June, happens in September, happens in December. Okay. So 80 would have played so far. And it's got legs, I don't know. It's weird when there's literally no depth on the books because of rollover. Someone's like bouncing around 900. It's a 20 block that to keep. That's a 20 block. Some of the most size on the entire books is a 20 block. I should have taken the 80 short, huh? Well, 80 short with a stop at 86 would have actually worked out really well. 6-point stop there is kind of crazy. Do we flush into VWAP? And how much do we flush through VWAP is the question, because VWAP and current lows on the day, IBL, are at the exact same spot. Matt, have you seen 50 midpoint rotation recently? Yeah, I mean 50 is like a psych level, right? Halfway point. 50, then whole numbers, and then 80-20s are always interesting. What do you think of John Kirikau? Seen a lot of meme reels of him recently. Never heard of him. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. I took a long off of 30 right when the dump started. Should have waited for this candle to close. And took a 20-point loss here. Took a long off point of control. That was a perfect bottom tick exit. Thought we were going to catch legs right here and sweep the high, or sweep the prior high at 30. We ended up getting slapped. So it ran up 20 points. Should have taken the 20 points of profit. Didn't do that. Was looking for more. Got stopped out break even. I'm down $400 right now per account. That's where I stand. 2 trades. The point of control trade was very clean. This trade was just wrong from the get-go. I really should have waited. This candle closed out. Next candle opened and I got instantly filled. I should have waited a little bit because this was like the first engulfing candle we had all day. Hindsight. Okay, there's VWAP. The question is, how much do we sweep it? I would rather us sweep it and me mark it back in above, but we just barely run it by... We run the lows by 3 points. There's a shot that is it, but... Because I think we are kind of balanced today, personally. Kind of is giving the vibe. Feels like it at least, but we'll see. Maybe we sweep it heavy and go into yesterday's value or high at 800. I don't know. I'd be down. Well, that's what I was looking for. I needed 2 points on that flush, huh? Okay. I thought that looked pretty good for a flip back. That VWAP is just hard. It's hard for me to buy that when we don't have any excess at the lows, really. Like even here, it's like could potentially get away with a 57 buy. Goes back to the mid 70s, top of the little like range that we've got working here. Point of control, maybe? Okay, so us defending IBL makes me think that we balance out. Obviously, we need to see what happens in this next candle, but it makes me feel like we balance out, which would mean longs into 50, 60, 70, 80. And then once we're back up there, it's looking like potentially shorts at 50, 60, 70, 80. Candle's closing out here in 40 seconds. What is the difference between March and June? Contracts have different prices because we're trading futures. We're looking at the future price. The March contract, it is now March. June, the June contract is in the future. So you're looking at a future price. Think about it from like a farmer's perspective. That's like the easiest terminology I can use. Index futures, it can get a little confusing, but think about it from like corn or wheat or something, right? Or even crude oil, right? Ones that have actual supply and demand. Futures were made to forecast future pricing based on supply and demand, right? That's why it's a current, like a future data contract. It's a lot easier to think about it that way. Of like the price of corn 3 months from now is most likely not the price of corn right now, or the price of wheat is not necessarily the price of wheat. The price of crude oil, based on how much production's happening, is not necessarily the price of crude oil right now, purely because of supply and demand, right? What is the value of that? What's the thought of value behind that based on supply and demand, or seasonality of how the crops did it, right? Or soybeans, or whatever you want to call it, right? Like, oh, we had some crazy bug that ate all the soybeans this year. Price is going to go up, which is why you use futures. And you can hedge, like farmers can hedge their production with futures. This is literally why futures were made. What I'm describing right now with farmers is literally why futures were made. And then they got adapted into index futures at some point. I don't actually know the year, to be honest. I'm not that much of a history buff, but at some point, index futures got brought into the equation, but the principle behind futures remains the same. Those farms, right, like corn, wheat, soybean, whatever, cows, cattle, those are all physically settled. Not as much these days, I guess, technically. Like a lot of brokers don't allow that, but those are physically settled. So like you would get 1,000 bushels of corn or whatever. Index futures are cash settled. So if you were to hold one of those through the close of the contract, you would actually be physically delivered those items. Whereas like with index futures, if you hold through the close and you don't know to roll over or whatever, you're just cash settled. So there you go. A little history lesson on why futures are futures. You can thank the farmers for it. You can thank the farmers for the tax incentives also. on the short and long-term capital gains tax when trading a futures live account. Same concept applies, right? It's short-term capital gains if you're trading intraday, just like stocks, right? But that being said, you get a portion of that being a futures long-term capital gains tax because you are forward-looking it. Most brokers don't allow it anymore, Maximilian. And you would have to hold through the cash settle. And you would have to pay for it at that price. But most brokers don't allow that. Like, think about when oil went negative a few years ago. Oil literally traded at a negative number. And if they allowed that settlement, it was right around the rollover too, I believe. So people were freaking out about, like, where am I going to put 1,000 barrels of oil? Well, they didn't actually physically settle that, so. Got close to point of control. Got top of the hour here in a minute and a half. That what makes markets move and stop, in your opinion? Liquidity and inefficiency. If the markets were completely efficient, meaning everyone agreed that this is the price it should be at, the markets wouldn't move. The reason markets move inherently is because people think that they are getting value one way or the other. They're buying something with the anticipation that something is worth more, so they buy it low and they sell it higher with the anticipation that the value meets their expectations, right? Or they're shorting something saying, this is overvalued. The market needs to come back down in order to find its true value, right? That's inefficiency at the end of the day. If the markets were purely efficient, meaning that the price was always the correct price, there would be no reason to trade or no reason to speculate on the markets, right? Because there would be nothing to speculate because the value is the value. But because we, as humans, get to decide what we think the value is, that's why markets move. That's why liquidity exists. If I think right now that the price of the Nasdaq should be 920, and I think I'm getting a good deal at buying it at 97.75, right? Then I'll place an order there with the anticipation that the market goes back up to 920. That's inefficiency, right? And people are having these thoughts all the time. You're having these thoughts, and that's what makes trades happen, because you need a buyer and you need a seller. You got to match those orders. You need someone who thinks something is overvalued. You need someone who thinks something is undervalued. You need someone who can't hold a position longer, right? Who gets out. The market's a perpetual auction, right? Auction theory, right? But that's why the markets move. And why sometimes you have these stocks that don't go anywhere. They just go sideways all the time because the market's found its value with those stocks. There's not really anything to be made or lost on those because everybody agrees that that's what the value should be. Hopefully that answers your question. That's just my take on it. I'm sure there's another way more educated take on it, but that's my take on it. All right, prior open here is interesting. 880s, potentially a flush into 86. Missed it by 2 ticks, chat. Usually when I miss something by 2 ticks, it flushes it. In which case we could look at 85 potentially. Oh, right idea. I never hear you talk about ICT, but hearing you do agree with the part of liquidity and efficiencies move the market. I'm friends with ICT. I've never studied his material. At the end of the day, that is not an ICT concept, that liquidity and inefficiencies moves the market. That's a very, very common, it's literally market theory. That's not an ICT concept. That's just how it works. Just got filled long. I would like for this to close strong. I just don't know if that's going to happen. I would like for us to close up and push into 920 realistically. I just don't know if that's going to be a thing. Is that double bottom? I hate that. Candle's closing in 10 seconds. Stopped out, triple bottom there, man. I should have probably taken a break even. I'm spooked by the double bottoms like that. They always clean up. I'm down 785. It's nasty. 16 grand, 15,938. I'm going to call it there. I'm not really enjoying it. I probably shouldn't have taken any trades today, realistically, a rollover, but here I am. Down $16,000 across all 20 accounts. Currently sitting at 66,300 bucks across the board. I'm just not seeing it clean. Period. Not seeing it clean. I saw the point and control trade really clean. Didn't manage it well. First trade, not clean. Second trade, not clean. That's a good one. Good tap out for me there. But I'm trying to, like I said, I think I'm going to try and push it a little harder both ways. Open up the risk a little more and push the TPs a little bit more. Potentially. It's going to be a moving target a little bit as we progress. But that's kind of the general plan, if I'm seeing it clean, to definitely do that, because I have a nice buffer and I kind of want to push it a little harder, to be honest, or get onto the end of days. So that's where I'm at. We'll see what happens. But happy Monday, everybody. Pissy day of trading for me. Happens. Come back tomorrow, clean slate, and hit it when we hit it. Good luck, everybody. Be smart, be patient. We'll see you tomorrow morning at Market Open. Have a good one. Peace, everybody.
He's sharp as a tack. He's got his eyes on the Nasdaq. Ain't no looking back. He wakes up every morning sipping on that coffee black. Trading numbers on his screen, yeah. He's got that knack. He's He's got his finger on the pulse, knowing when to buy or sell. He's making moves all day, making his portfolio well. From the open bell to the closing bell, he's ringing that cash register. With every trade he makes, he's getting closer to his treasure. He's a Nasdaq cowboy, riding that market wave. TBM ain't afraid to take risks. He's got money to save. He's catching those highs, dodging them lows, making his name. TBM's the king of the Nasdaq, playing his own game. He's a Nasdaq, king of the Nasdaq, playing his own game.